Good evening. Tonight was designed as just another old race for the FTF Barr Visual Cup Series. Early last week, that all changed. Our friend Josh Mendoza announced Wednesday that his brother Joey was killed in a car accident. Josh and his family were in Spain over these last few weeks, came back to the States after learning of his passing. Joey loved cars and racing very much like his brother. Back in December, Joey received a wheel and pedals to learn iRacing, a chance to bond with his brother so familiar with the service and intertwined with the best the sim has to offer. Less than 6 months later, Joey's story came to a sudden close. Joey Mendoza was 26. Tonight, we aren't just racing to race. We're racing for Joey and for the entire Mendoza family, and our hearts go out to them and all of those impacted by Joey's passing. We now ask that whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, you take a moment to think of them tonight. We'll do the same. And it is at this point where we say good evening, everybody. Welcome to Daytona for tonight's race honoring Joey Mendoza. 200 miles, 56 laps around this racetrack. The Racing to Remember, Joey Mendoza 200. And good timing, kinda. Pace car is going to make the hard left turn onto pit road. And we're going to get going. Jacob Hitz, Caleb Hoffman here with you. Dylan Alt brings us down to the green flag. Brandon Hawkin on the outside. We're underway from Daytona. Brandon Hawkin will lead us around through the first horseshoe and take us off toward horseshoe number 2. Dylan Alt falls to that second position, side by side for a moment between Nate Stewart and Michael Rosero. They're all single file throughout the top 10 as there goes Garrett Conrath a little bit wide. Fishtails it out into the dirt, but keeps it going straight. Right in behind last night's winner, Logan Helton from Gateway. Had a little controversy. Zach Novak got into the side of the two race leaders, turned them around. The win was taken from Novak, who led the most laps, and given to Logan Helton, his first win on the season. They're onto the high banks for the first time, Caleb.
Yeah, and we see right now probably one of the most interesting sections of this racetrack right here at the Daytona Road Course. Just these high sweeping banks of Daytona makes you feel like you're back on the super speedway. As you get onto the backstretch here, you see Brandon Hawkin going to go in right to this road course section.
Somebody missed the chicane.
Oh,
one car's wide. The 92 is wide. That's Liam Sheen. And we got one stopped who cut the chicane. That was Logan Helton that missed it. And of course there are tire barriers there, so you can't fly right on through, so we had to slow down for that. There you see Sheen. He lost a ton of time. He was in 8th. But Brandon Hawkin will lead lap number 1. Quick start here with the chaos as far as this race is concerned, and Dylan Alt is right back on the back bumper.
yeah, and you see already right here, I mean, so, you see these guys just get so strung out, and I mean, Dylan Alt trying to hang on to Brandon Hawkin right here, but, just trying to, it's just such a technical aspect of this racetrack, just trying to make it around. You just got to focus on hitting all your marks here as you see Dylan Alt still trying to close in on entry here, Brandon Hawkin.
Oh, there goes Rosero! Into the wall! He was running in 5th. He overshot that first horseshoe and goes wide as he saw Nathan Rabideau around. Rosero just locked it up and went in way too hot and crashed into the tires. That's actually the second horseshoe before they get back out on the main straightaway.
And in that as well, not sure if it was an unrelated incident, but it looks like Wyatt Tinsley has a little bit of rear damage on the, looks like the left side of his race car as well. So
that's different. I believe it's different at least.
And you see, though, right on each other. Whoa, that's the 51 around.
51 Aaron Brown in trouble. That's coming out. And he is disconnected from the servers, so he's going home. That's coming out of the infield section of the racetrack that he was around at. Everybody makes it through the chicane just fine. As I say that, one car mows the grass. That's Ethan Corder in the 153 who's gone off. Keeps it rolling. So how about this battle for the lead? Brandon Hawkin, Dylan Alt.
Yeah. Brandon Hawkin and Dylan Alt, I mean, both these guys have been so strong all season, flexing their muscles once again as they've accrued a little bit of a gap. And you see Blake Reynolds actually going to sneak up here, maybe going to look for the second position after Dylan Alt locks it up just a little bit.
Just enough to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, it just goes back to hitting your marks on this racetrack. I mean, one bad move and all of a sudden you're getting eaten up.
Alt has to get the fish and pull back out, try and catch. Brandon Hawkin is, whoa, Blake Reynolds goes really wide. Coming out of the hairpin. Owen Rosaro's wide again. He locked it up. He goes way out toward the tires, keeps it on the racing surface. And he is continuing to hemorrhage spots. He's back down to 16th place.
Yeah, not only Michael Rosero there, I mean...
Oh, trouble! Jake Poulin. He sent another car off, Gary Waterworth. And both of them just missed the corner.
Yeah, and I mean, something I'm keeping an eye on too is right out of that road course infield section, right as you get back into NASCAR 1, a lot of these guys getting back on the throttle have just not been handling very well. Dylan Alt actually got super loose and almost lost it on that last time out. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can, try to combat that a little bit tonight, try to adapt to how these cars are feeling.
Well, and that part of the racetrack might just be the slickest part on the racetrack, even when we're here for the 24-hour race. Those guys are slipping and sliding through that spot. Definitely the loosest part on the racetrack. We were told in chat a little while ago, hashtag tell the booth instead of ask the booth, tell the booth, that Gary Waterworth might been it watching his Golden State Warriors. I'm not sure if the Warriors had anything to do with that because they haven't started yet. I think that was just missing the braking zone a little bit, and it didn't help that he had Jake Poulin to tap him in the rear and push him further off the racetrack because he missed the corner just as bad. Blake Bryant on pit road, trouble. That's Cosman in the splash and go car, and he just went off. That's the first horseshoe. And he just locked it up and went off. Got the Armco barrier. Still rolling. It was his paint scheme that won last night. On board Logan Helton's machine. It's not the first time that splash and go paint scheme has made its way to victory lane since he won the last time we were here back in February. Make that January.
Yeah, looking through right now, Brandon Hawkins built himself a nice little gap to Dylan Alt in second place, and even Dylan Alt's kind of gapped himself back to Blake Reynolds right now. So just, trying to get settled in right now. This race is, you got almost more than 50 laps to go at this point. So just kind of riding around, making sure that you don't make any crucial mistakes. Guys like Michael Rosero haven't really done that so far tonight. So, tough break for him so far. Just trying to settle in here and make sure that you get, to a potential first round of pit stops soon.
Brandon Hawkin has yet to go to victory lane, and I know we're a long ways away from him getting the shot to go to victory lane. There's he side by side, Nate Stewart, Brian Mercurio. Mercurio has won 3 different times this season. He gets by Stewart. Stewart, one of the better road racers in the league. He's struggled a lot this season, not of his own doing, just kind of wrong place, wrong time, and so far, signs are pointing in the right direction for that number 4, even though we did just get past for that 4th spot. Still a good early run as we've got one car smoking in turn 1. Matt Spalding is junked. Gary Waterworth has gone around. I don't know what Spalding hit, but whatever he hit a ton. I think so Matt Spalding braked late. Here's the replay. That's Art Reimer in front of him that he can't miss, hooks it into the wall, and then kills a couple of cones and drives it on into the tires and says, you know what? I've had enough.
I would too, my goodness. Killed that infield wall.
And Mitch Hobbs, the front end of that car is missing. Not sure if I can go back far in time enough quickly. And, he lost it coming out of the bus stop. Lost it coming out of the bus stop and spun it up into the outside wall. Just looks like, got loose over the curbs and nosed it into the wall. Kind of like what Truex did in the Clash a couple of years ago here.
Yeah, it wasn't that time. It looks like that's Jake Poulin off track once again in the bus stop.
Yep.
Just missing entry. And again, I mean, this track is you take it very methodically, just try to get yourself into a rhythm. So it's almost like a second nature to you once you start getting it down. But one thing disrupts that rhythm you got going, and all of a sudden it'll just create a cascading effect right here as we'll cut to Logan Helton in a battle, looks like.
Kind of like the iRacing 24 here, where it's just chaos every single lap. Who's gone off course? Well, you got the guys at the front that are just logging laps right now, trying to keep the fenders on the things. Brendan Hawkin continues to lead this race. He's got a 1.5 second lead over Dylan Alt right now. Nate Stewart has trouble. He has fallen all the way back. He had to come to pit road. Nate Stewart came to pit road for 6 seconds. Interesting.
Yeah, he
Fuel
was
strategy?
in the top 5. I mean, potentially. I wouldn't bank on it here tonight so far. Granted that we are only 6 laps in at this point, but anything's possible out of that Nate Stewart camp. Maybe they think they have something.
I was going to say, because he was running in the 5th spot and then pitted. And next thing I know, I see him back in the 30th position just about. And like I said, he was only in the box for 6 seconds, so it couldn't have been a cutting penalty or anything. Because that's a really quick penalty if that's what it is. How about the battle for 7th? Tyler Gary and Liam Sheen missed the corner. Matt Danson chases him out there. He missed the corner as well. And they're side by side in front of him. Lyson being Landon Mills. Landon Mills is going to take that spot away in the 125.
Yeah, that's almost opened up a power surge. I mean, one mistake right there, and all these guys are now bunched up together. We got a pack of 5 cars that are all ready to pounce if one of these guys up ahead of them makes just one small error, and that's something that we've seen is into these hard braking corners. Guys will lock up their brakes.
Trouble, Ryan Rocky, first horseshoe.
Just like that.
Loops it, gets it going. He's all good. He was back there right around maybe 24th.
Yeah, just a lot of these guys right now. You see Nate Stewart right there, was running top 5 earlier. We know he's fast tonight. It's just a matter of, how
Austin Johnson went wide. Sorry, Caleb. He locked it up, and he did get the tires coming out of the hairpin, coming onto the racetrack. So the stage end is the end of lap 15. We're about halfway, or coming up to halfway here, in stage number 1. And another car misses the corner. That's Austin Johnson. And he hits the tire.
Slam the barrier, yeah.
Yeah, he gave up. And Frisch missed it right behind him. And he's going to actually make his way through. I think Austin Johnson was just on a kamikaze mission right there. Just figured, all right, we'll bring it around and park it.
Instead of bringing it to pit road. Well, is off track. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. Now, we got one pitting. Garrett Conrath is on pit road.
So maybe we see somebody trying to... Maybe Nate Stewart was doing a little bit of fuel strategy here. We'll keep along with that. But yeah, I mean, lap 8.
No tires. Oh, wait, no, he won't get tires. Interesting.
Yeah,
now,
really interesting.
The fuel tanks are at 60% capacity. So you're not getting a ton of fuel in these things. And they have 6 sets of tires, so he takes only right. No, he does take all 4. And he gets it back rolling. Coming up off pit road, we got one off. Andy Margot back straight away. At the chicane. Overdrove it, and he didn't hit tires. He hit concrete back there. Nope, that's tires. I'm blind. All right. Gary Waterworth has made his way to pit road. And got some guys asking about when the pits close. What lap? That'd be lap 13. So start of 14, so the end of lap 13. And Garrett Conrath is off on those cold tires, coming around to the second horseshoe, and he nosed it into the tires. He locked it up big, and the hood's gone on that thing. Chaos here at the Daytona road course. I mean, you still got Brandon Hawkin leading. And then Dylan Alton second, Blake Reynolds third, Brian Mercurio is fourth. Landon Mills in the top 5. Then Justin Lysenby, Liam Sheen, Matt Danson, Tyler Gary, Dylan Bass in your top 10. Jonathan Oates sits in 11th. Here's the battle for 6th between Sheen, who's already been off course at least once, and Lysenby.
Yeah, and you saw Sheen there really got up on the door of Lysenby. Looks like they'll get settled down just a little bit as they get here into the second horseshoe. Ooh, Lysenby actually takes it really wide arc on that corner. That's going to allow him to get some drive off there that Liam Sheen was able to get that power down earlier, and he'll have the advantage going back out into NASCAR 1.
Logan Helton, 4-second stop on pit road. He's down and away. Ryan Araki, which just visited pit road as well.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe we're seeing these guys just, trying to top off a little bit on fuel in case, that you get a caution or something, just so they have that first stop behind them. Really interesting right now to see, how all these guys are taking the corner. You see Brandon Hawkin getting around lap traffic at Gary Waterworth right there. But, usually when you come to a place like this, you expect to see these guys kind of straddle that outside wall on these high bank corners because it allows you to build up your momentum, build up a lot more speed around the, very top part of the banking. But, so far tonight, seeing a lot of these guys staying close to the low line, just that quicker way around the track. We'll be interested to see if that line shifts up at all as we get through this race. Maybe his tires get worn down a little more, not really sure. But, as we get into it, I'm sure that's going to change just a little bit.
And kind of wonder if somebody's going to go up to the outside, realize it's quicker, and then everybody else will join him. Dylan Bason's on pit road. He was in the 15th spot. Jonathan Oates is on as well. Kevin McAdams is on pit road. So I think this is the point now where everybody's going to try and pit before the stage ends. Because remember, we do not get cautions at the end of stages. The only way we would get one is if we get a caution that would put us in a natural green-white checker effect here for the stage. So we would need one basically now to get us to that point, as Tyler Gary misses the hairpin to get back onto the racetrack. He missed it huge, got into the back of Matt Danson and turned Danson around. They both go wide. That was 8th and 9th. They don't lose any positions, but they lose a ton of time.
And that's big. You see right there on the ticker, they're now, 20 seconds back. And again, that's really tough to make up. I mean, even at a place like Daytona, it's just 20 seconds is just huge.
Liam Sheen coming onto pit road. He's in 7th. He's going to bring it to pit road this time. The rest of our leaders staying out on the racetrack, at least for now. Well, Tinsley going to come in. Dylan Alt is closing in once again on Hawkin. That last time by, he was 0.2 quicker. The gap's down to 1.1 seconds.
Another thing to keep in mind too is just, how these brakes are going to be tested here tonight. Obviously, we're on the road course, so we don't have, the regular super speedway-ish type horsepower restrictions on these cars. So as they get into one, they don't have that chicane, that NASCAR has chosen to use in years past. So these cars will, they will get upwards of 200 miles per hour going in to that first braking zone into the infield area. So, wonderful, see any sort of mistakes there throughout the night, especially from these guys that are up front, really just kind of on each other's heels.
But you also have to keep in mind the fact that the brakes are bigger and better on these next-gen cars. So they're able to stop a little bit quicker than they were with the older Cup cars, where it seemed to take an hour and a half for them to get to slow down for turn one. Now that we don't have that chicane off turn 4, it's a little bit more feasible. And really, turn 1, I think, has been the cleanest spot on the racetrack. We've seen issues in the chicane. We've seen issues in both horseshoes. We've seen issues, and I believe that's turn 7. We have not seen any issues in turn 1.
Let's see if that changes here. You see Nathan Rabideau right there, locked into a battle at the moment. Liam Sheen, actually, who just came in a few laps ago. We'll see him get to the inside of Alex Kolonix.
Yep. Not actually the 22. I thought we fixed this, but we didn't. That's the 46 disguised as the 22 because somebody screwed up. Yeah, he's supposed to be the 46 in for Robert Dorman. But he's being scored as the 22, which is an oopsie because obviously he's the 46. Michael B. Frisch on pit road. He was in around the 15th position. And Matt Spalding finally, with that wrecked race car, has left pit road. He is only 6 laps down after spending almost 12 minutes in the box. And for Frisch, just 3.5 seconds in the box before he's down and away. So, really quick pit stops. I don't understand.
Yeah,
we're going to have to talk with somebody about that here eventually. We can't at the stage break, I guess, since we're obviously still racing. But
yeah, we'll get it. We'll get a caution in, and we'll
figure it out.
Yeah, looking around, someone just took out all of the cones. It might have been Chris Wetz in the second horseshoe, but has literally mowed down every cone in the
cone mass murderer. Chris Wetz just scattered them all over the second horseshoe. That's turn 6. I mean, he missed the corner pretty much, but he kept it on the racetrack, but that is not the racing line. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, took out every cone on his way.
Yep. Every cone on that side of the track. Ooh. Here's Dylan Alt on pit road. Race leaders. Hawkin is in. Reynolds is in. Now the pits close at the end of this lap. That's why we're seeing them all come to pit road this time by.
And these guys really just trying to stretch the fuel as long as possible.
Everybody is in. Mercurio, sorry to cut you off. Blake Reynolds, Landon Mills, Danson, Tyler Gary, Kevin King. Ethan Corder is in. Michael Rosero, Matthew Zwack, Justin Licenby's on pit road, and there goes Hawkin as we got trouble. That is Licenby. Yeah. He stayed out. I was wondering why he was up in front, but going 62 mile an hour. He went off in the first horseshoe, so he leads. He did not pit. We got one wide in turn 1. I think that's turn 1 at least. Maybe that's the other end of the racetrack. I saw his one car smoking. It was Mitch Hobbs. He spun it coming off turn 7. He's good. So Hawkin wins the race off pit road. Garrett Conrath just killed some cones on the front straightaway. He hit the wall and forgot to turn left. He towed it back to pit road. He didn't even try wheeling it back around. So Hawkin gets back out. He is in second because of Licenby. Licenby is in NASCAR turn 2 coming to the back stretch right now. Now he can pit this time and still be okay. Because remember, the pits close at the end of this lap, the start of lap 14. So he can pit this time with the pit still open because he'll obviously make it before the light changes at the entrance to pit road. Garrett Conrath has parked it. He's done for the night.
See Lyson B
Let's
here.
see what Lyson B does, and
down.
he is coming.
I'm really interested there to see if he was going to try to stay out on that stage. But, I mean, he went way off track, locked the brakes up big time going into the first horseshoe and just completely put him off his mark for the rest of the lap. You could just visibly see that he just wasn't feeling the car as well after that. So interested to see if, maybe that played into that strategy, the decision to come down.
So 2 to go here in stage 1. Brandon Hawkins your leader, but Dylan Alt in that 400, not only did he have a slower pit stop than the 99, but he was much quicker. He was 7/10ths quicker on pit road as a whole. He lost half a second, though, because of his pit stop being so slow. So in reality, he only gained 0.2 of a second, but he had to have gained more than that because remember, he was a second back of Hawkin before they pitted, and now he's within less than half a second, pretty much on the back door of that 99 going through these tight corners. Here they are in 7.
Yeah, and Dylan Alt right now, this is pretty much the perfect position you want to be in if you want to try to force a pass at one of these road courses. Just get up all in their mirror, make them start thinking about you and not thinking about the racetrack in front of them, because once you do that, you'll force them into mental errors.
Cabrera, that's going wide.
See that right here. Ooh,
it's Lyson B that we're watching there go wide.
Yeah. And he's still in the cold tires, keep in mind.
Oh, another one off.
Looks like, is that Rabideau?
No, Rocky. And he just lost it on the exit of the corner and took a small little detour. Yep, 3 wide.
Yeah, that was very bold.
And there's Brown. David Brown is off. Oh, brother.
Yeah, we got so much.
Last lap in stage 1. We will be getting a caution at the end of this. The lap car, the 13 of Mitch Hobbs, gets out of the way as these two battle it out for the stage win. Brandon Hawkin and Dylan Alt at the end of stage 1.
You see Brandon Hawkin right there really taking his arcs a lot wider just so he can keep that momentum up and get on the throttle sooner. And you can see it on exit. I mean, Dylan Alt is going to have the advantage on entry here. He's going to gain a little bit of time.
Oh, Nate Stewart
off track.
He was running in the 6th spot.
Yeah, tough break for him after working his way back up into the top 6. But back to Hawkin and Alt. You'll see right here, Dylan Alt's going to make up so much time on entry, and then Brandon Hawkin's just going to be able to drive away from him on exit. So that's the difference right now.
Matt Danson's lost. He thought we were already under caution. And was confused as to why people were still racing him. Somebody really locked it up. It's Rabideau in turn 1. We're still green. Into the chicane for the last time in stage 1. Hawkin emerges with about half a second lead. It's going to take a lot here for Alt to catch him in the final end of the speedway. The final couple of turns here at the Daytona Roval. Sorry, bank turns. I forgot that important banked word. Of course, there is no final chicane off the corner, which is nice. So Brandon Hawkin comes around, completes lap 15, and will win stage 1 here at Daytona. Brandon Alt finishes in 2nd. Brian Mercurio just came off. Nope, that's Blake Reynolds who will finish in 3rd. Brian Mercurio just came off NASCAR 4. Landon Mills in 5th. Liam Sheen takes over the 6th spot. Nate Stewart, after his spin, falls from 4th to 7th. Tyler Gary 8th. Jonathan Oates 9th. Dylan Basin in 10th. Last night's winner, Logan Helton, going to be 2 car lengths back.
Yeah, and a great run, great clean run for Brandon Hawkins, Dylan Alt. Yeah, as you see, maybe start gets slowed up here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's yeah, race control.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
One of those.
So yeah, we are under yellow right now.
All right, well, stage winner isn't here. Otherwise, I was going to talk to him first. So we'll step aside. We'll go to a break. 15 laps are complete. Brandon Hawkin, your leader. You're watching the Racing to Remember Joey Mendoza 200 here on FTF GG. We're back after this. The field is behind the Justin Malillo pace car. Here under caution. 15 laps are complete. The end of stage one. Brandon Hawkin, your race leader. There's Justin, driver of the pace car. Incredible, isn't it? Only an FTF.
Yeah. The FTF pace car. Can't believe they're allowing numbers on that thing. Yeah, that's a sight to behold right there. You got the actual Cup car being the pace car, iRacing's first manned pace car.
Definitely not first. Intentionally slowing in the way. That's the caveat. Pit road strategy. Brandon Hawkin pits. The rest of the leaders stay out. Even the guys behind him. We got folks in the grass. Liam Sheen, Nate Stewart, all turning dead right to avoid the cone. The next car to pit is Jonathan Oates. Brandon Hawkin got duped.
Yeah, that's big right there. Brandon Hawkin forsakes all of his track position, pitting from the lead, and now he's going to have to make that up under green. That is a big implication for him, because now he's got guys like Dylan Alt, Blake Reynolds, Brian Mercurio. All these guys have race-winning speed, and they're going to be unchallenged up here while he has to work his way back up. And we see how strung out this field gets. I mean, it's going to be difficult for, especially after that.
So Dylan Alt, now your race leader. Oh! Pits were closed!
Interesting on the...
When they pitted this time by, pits were closed. They never opened pit road until after these guys came through. That's why everybody turned dead right, because pits were closed and they didn't want a penalty. So Brandon Hawkin, on top of pitting from the race lead, is going to get a penalty to start at the back because the pits were closed.
I believe it looks like Brandon Hawkin and Jonathan Oates were the only two guys who got penalties on that, and they did have them cleared, it looks
cleared.
like. So.
I like that Chris Wett says it's going to be a full field invert. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? So I think that was a scoring, well, not a scoring error, but not enough admin's error. The fact that Justin is the one-man band tonight. He can't solve everything. And sure enough, something came up that he couldn't solve in time. He wasn't made aware that pits were still closed until after everybody had already stopped. Yes, he was too busy pacing. And Matt Danson makes a good point. Justin Melillo did say pits were open. So...
yeah, we're having it... feels like moon car court going on in the chat right now between all these drivers right now.
At this point, I'm just trying to figure out when and where we're going to get back to green.
Got to be soon, right?
Well, see, now everybody's complaining because they didn't get a chance to pit. When Melillo says, well, if you would have pitted, I would have cleared your black flag like I did for the other guys. But they wouldn't know that.
Yeah, so interesting controversy going on here because now you got a bunch of guys that wanted to pit and were planning on pitting but didn't because they thought they were going to get black flag.
So the top 14 stayed out. Everybody else pitted. So... oh, all right. Well,
yeah, we're just
this still isn't as dumb as whatever went on in the tower at Texas Motor Speedway during the All-Star race. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, the bar has been much lower.
Yeah, I mean these things happen. We know about it, but yeah, still right now, a lot of angry drivers who were planning on pitting and now haven't, and I don't think they're going to get the opportunity to pit under this stage right now.
Now a lot of people are saying they're going to pit this time. Stewart, Frisch, Basin, all included.
It looks like we're doubling up.
I think they might pit and also double up. So this would be our 1 to green because it's only doubling up for the first row. So,
yeah, we'll see everybody who was planning on pitting before the pits were closed come in now.
So here they come. So Basin Alt still stays out, as does Reynolds, Mercurio, Mills, and Sheen. Sheen wanted to pit. What is he doing?
Yeah, he went back up on track, darted out at the last second at the commitment line.
Look, if you're going to complain you couldn't pit, and then don't pit, come on. Kevin King also stays out, so now just 6 guys have yet to make a pit stop.
Notable people coming in now. I mean,
this is as screwed up as trying to hammer a screw into the wall. I like that.
Ooh, contact! Justin Lisenby and Michael P. Frisch just made contact on pit exit. And Frisch looks like he'll be okay.
They were 3 wide.
Yeah,
Danson involved in it as well. Danson got ghosted through. But, yeah.
Yeah, Frisch still made contact, and I mean that's been a big complaint too. Is once these next-gen cars get damaged, it really hinders your pace. So we'll see how that affects Michael P. Frisch, who really just has had a season to forget so far. Was hoping to turn his luck around coming into tonight, but so far it doesn't look like that's going to change whatsoever.
Still, point leader by 300 points, Michael P. Frisch. He only has 1 win. But he said, just give him the championship, regular season championship now.
And it looks like we are starting to get doubled up here behind. Landon Mills is pulling up beside Brian Mercurio now, so should be getting back to green here soon.
I believe we're just about half a lap away.
And this is one of those, as of right now, just looks like one of those classic NR starts where you had to give your space just to not pile up on the restart. Looking back, I mean,
Oh, there's that plane again.
Yeah, Brandon Hawkin, after, you know, some of those mishaps, has actually already crawled his way back up to 7th. So interested to see if he's going to be able to make up all that ground, you know, get past guys like Kevin King and Liam Sheen, Landon Mills, all those guys, get back up in this lead fight here on this restart. You see them all starting to get bunched up together here, getting ready to go behind the Justin Melillo pace car. Getting back going here. And there goes Justin.
The Justin Melillo pace car is in. Here's stage number 2. I believe we're going to lap 30. Dylan Alt is on the gas pedal. Green flag. Stage 2 is underway.
Blake Reynolds just threw a huge block on Brian Mercurio going down into turn number 1. Blake Reynolds actually loses the car just a little bit. Now he's going to slide up. That's going to open the door for Brian Mercurio. Now they're side by side for P2. Brian Mercurio going to take advantage of that. Maybe even Landon Mills sends it in from deep.
Here comes Brandon Hawkin. First guy on 4 tires. Trying to claw his way up through the field. Side by side with Liam Sheen. At least for the moment.
Gonna get single file. Whoa, Blake Reynolds goes off track up ahead of him.
Oh, and there goes the leader. He locked it up. Side by side for 3rd. Mills around the outside.
Blake Reynolds, what a great save out of that 66 machine. I was convinced he was going for a ride. Gets that car back gathered up side by side with Landon Mills right now. They're side by side going into NASCAR 1 now. And he's still wicked loose on the outside.
They made it. Landon Mills to 3rd. Where did that speed come from?
Yeah, I mean, Blake Reynolds had his struggles, but Landon Mills still kept it calm and collected and got it around him. We'll see if Blake Reynolds can regather and get past Landon Mills, but what a half lap it was for him.
There goes one car. Matthew Zwack misses the chicane. Hit a cone in the process.
Ooh. Michael Rosero had a big save, big scary moment coming out of the bus stop there, almost lost it, and now you can see Wyatt Tinsley bunched up on the back of him trying to collect some draft. And we'll see it here. I mean, these leaders absolutely flying in. These 4 cars bunched together too.
Man, nice little pack.
Oh, Wyatt Tinsley got into the back of Michael Rosero. Big damage.
I think he didn't know when Rosero was braking.
Yeah,
Rosero not happy over the radio.
Yeah, Wyatt trying to plead his case, but yeah, that's why it's so dangerous to bump draft like that. Now Michael Rosero's going to go around on the bus stop.
Oh, and they're wrecking behind him. Mitch Hobbs is around in turn 2, got another one off. The 31, David Cabrera around in the horseshoe. Man.
Oh, Justin Lysenby going to get loose as well.
Oh,
big
the
save
leader is wrecking. Around goes Dylan Alt in the 2nd horseshoe. Everybody stacks up.
Oh, Brandon Hawkin
takes the lead, and Brandon Hawkin finds his way to 2nd.
He almost got turned and now contact with Landon Mills. What is going on? Side by side, Kevin King peeks his nose up to the outside. My goodness, they're going to get sorted out now. Dylan Alt going to fall all the way back to 6th. Absolutely nightmare mode for him. And now you see how they shake out. Blake Reynolds with a sizable lead, almost a 2nd over Brandon Hawkin. Landon Mills gets settled back in line behind him. All these guys now got to collect their thoughts, get calm once again. You got, 36 laps to go. Just chill out for a second. My goodness. Yeah, absolutely crazy right now. And going back, you see Brian Mercurio all over the back bumper of Kevin King. That's, this is exactly what happened to Wyatt Tinsley earlier. It's why it's so dangerous to bump draft here. Even though it is a super speedway, you don't know other guys' braking points. It's kind of an approximation that you have to make. So it's really dangerous to be right up behind him. We'll see it right here. You see Brian Mercurio giving a little bit of space to Kevin King, and even so almost gets brake checked a little bit.
Oh, King was on the gas.
Dylan Alt once again.
4 wide. Liam Sheen. And Alt almost got the pit wall.
Oh my goodness. Side by side once again.
Where can I go? Where else can I go? There's only so much room on the racetrack. You got to give me something.
Yeah, and Dylan Alt over the radio is just talking about entry there. He was just trying to use the left side to kind of steer the car a little bit, kind of a reference point, just kind of misjudged that a little bit, almost sent him into the tire barriers and almost ended his day. I mean, we've seen that out of Dylan Alt this year.
Trouble. Lysenby around in the first horseshoe, just lost it. Got another one off back there. That's Philip McCandless.
Hopefully everybody gets sorted through here. Is that a car stop? No. All right.
Hold on. Where's Dylan Alt? Dylan Alt just towed. Hold on. He was 7th. Dylan Alt just pulled it off, coming out of the second horseshoe and just stopped it, and he is going home.
And that's
As
exactly
Dave
what I
Cabrera's
was about
off
to say.
pace.
Oh no! Yeah, Dylan Alt looks like he just had a mishap there, and
I think he just gave up, honestly.
Yeah, he made sizable contact with the barrier, but I mean, yeah, namely Las Vegas, Dylan Alt was running super strongly in that race, a few weeks ago, and was involved in a late race accident, and came home with nothing to show for it. And it looks like a similar deal happening here. Dylan Alt just some really bad luck right there. Ooh, looking back actually for the lead, looks like Brandon Hawkin putting a little bit of pressure on the number 66 of Blake Reynolds here.
Fresh tires under the control of that 99. The 66 did not stop under the pit stops, under the stage caution.
Yeah, Brandon Hawkin right here. Blake Reynolds really got loose there, and Brandon Hawkin followed him. They're both off track now. Reynolds gets it collected again. You see Brandon Hawkin right there kills every cone.
Oh, and there goes Mills wide. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, that's another part of these road courses too, is you are using the driver ahead of you as reference, so it's really hard if somebody makes a misjudgment like you saw Blake Reynolds right there. It's really easy to follow them, so a great job by both of them to keep it collected and stay 1-2 there.
My, oh my. Dylan Basin spun it at one point there in the infield section. He's back rolling now. He was up inside the top 10 at one point. As we watch this battle for the lead, there's also a good battle brewing for fourth between Kevin King and Brian Mercurio. The next highest guy that pitted under the last caution, Jonathan Oates. He's in 7th. A good 5 seconds behind the race leader. So everybody in the top 6, with the exception of Hawkin, pitted under the stage brake.
Ooh, Brandon Hawkin actually just looked around. He's actually going to make contact with Blake Reynolds. Yeah, he gives him a little shove in the back bumper. Just that maybe not so friendly, hello, I'm here and I want P1. You see Blake Reynolds right now really struggling off exit here. That's going to open up the door for Brandon Hawkin. He's now peeking to the right. We got a car off track. That looks like Seth Noel.
Yeah, and the one. Ooh. And Kevin McAdams got in it as well. He said he couldn't see.
This league battle right now. My goodness, so much fun. Both of these guys off track.
Oh, gaggle, trouble.
Oh,
pulling. That's first hairpin, first horseshoe rather. Back to the battle for the lead.
Yeah, and Brandon Hawkin in the second horseshoe got super loose, kind of lost a little bit of the time. We'll see it once again right here. Same thing that we had going on with Hawkin and Dylan Alt earlier.
Oh, Kevin King just about missed the chicane with Mercurio all over the back of them.
And again, that's what you want to do.
Definitely the faster car here.
Yeah, just get all over the back bumper, that car in front, make them start focusing on you instead of their braking points and force them into making a mistake. I mean, that's really what you want to do, how you get a pass done. And now it looks like Brandon Hawkin going to send it in on the inside of Blake Reynolds for the lead going into turn number 1. Both cars sideways just a little bit. Brandon Hawkin gonna shoot it a little bit over. Looks like he's gonna be able to make it stick though. New leader 99. Great pass, and now Blake Reynolds gonna be in that P2 position, trying to get around this 99 and maybe even open up the door for Landon Mills.
So Brandon Hawkin back to the lead. He won stage 1, and it took him about 10 laps, but he's able to get back out in front here during stage 2. They're not done yet, I don't think. Blake Reynolds has stayed pretty even with him.
Yeah, he's just glued to the back bumper of that race car right now. I mean, you can see a gap building just a little bit, but again, on entry, a really aggressive corner by Blake Reynolds. He's going to send it in. Brandon Hawkins still going to get that better drive off, and now Blake Reynolds just trying to stay hooked up to the back of that 99.
So they come off NASCAR 2. Gary Waterworth is around, I think. At least wide. Off the pace. There's Logan Helton. Saw him for a moment. There's Waterworth. Rough night for him.
Yeah, I mean, after all that calamity that we just saw.
Not a rough night. Not a rough night. Sorry for the Warriors. They're up by 10 in the third. Here we go for the lead. Blake Reynolds to the outside.
Yeah, Blake Reynolds got that infamous, notorious draft. And now he's going to be looking to the outside. But Brandon Hawkin really on entry there. Whoa! Blake Reynolds cut it down up in front of Landon Mills there. Side by side still. Now they're going to even back out for the lead. Kind of how they were. A really aggressive corner there from Blake Reynolds. Once again, he's really wanting this lead back. And on older tires, it's just, at what expense.
Mills was the fastest of these three. And, he got chopped off there because Blake Reynolds wanted to pull the crossover. See if he could get maybe side by side along through the S's. Here they go into the second horseshoe, and Reynolds sends it in deep from the bottom. Not quite going to work.
You got to keep in mind, though, Landon Mills, Brandon Hawkins had his rearview mirror full of Blake Reynolds, and Blake Reynolds has been sending it in just like this. He's actually going to lock it up and now get passed by Landon Mills. Looks like he's going to get loose side by side into NASCAR 1. And as I was saying, Landon Mills was the only one not battling. That's going to change here as he's side by side with Blake Reynolds. And if you're Brandon Hawkin, you got to love seeing that side-by-side battle for P2 right now.
Yeah, that battle for the lead is now over because these guys are holding themselves up a good bit. Let's see who outbreaks who going into the chicane.
Mills got him.
Mills to second. Great run for that 125.
Yeah, he's put together a great night so far. We saw him. He had a little bit of a rough night a week ago at the All-Star race, and even to an extent last night at Gateway. So a great rebound for this 25 machine as he just made a great pass on Blake Reynolds.
Yeah, as far as last night's concerned, Landon Mills, did not race. How about that?
Yeah.
Tough to have a rough night when you didn't race. Liam Sheen is on pit road.
Well, in terms of points, you don't get any points, so.
I guess, yeah. As far as Brandon Hawkins concerned, he did run last night, finished ninth. And finished P3 in a stage and P8 in another. Solid night for Brandon Hawkin. Of course, Logan Helton came away with the win. John Butler finished third. He is not here tonight. Surprising since Sean is second. No, he's not. I thought he was second in points. Sean's actually 31st in points. He's only made 11 starts. Oh, there's a car off. That's Zwack, I think.
Yeah, Zwack.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, just after all that, calamity that we were having a few laps ago, a lot of these guys just have opted to kind of settle down, just ride around once again. We got a stage in coming up here. So just ride around, try to collect yourself for a run at the end here.
Landon Mills looking for his best finish on the season. He only has one top 10. Looking for his first top 5 here tonight. 4 laps to go in stage number 2, I do believe. Brandon Hawkin leading the way, trying to sweep both stages tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he really put together a great run under green here. I mean, yeah, he had fresh tires, but we saw him, pit from the lead, and he was at a disadvantage starting behind, I believe it was, 6 or 7 cars. And on a road course like this, I mean, we see within a lap or two, these guys will get spread out like this. So the fact that he was able to kind of climb his way back up to the lead, albeit being on fresh tires, is really just a testament to how good that, he has been tonight. I mean, just class of the field so far.
So there will not be a caution at the end of the stage. Just keep that in mind here for strategy. Now, pits will still close, I believe, but we will not see the caution flag fly unless somebody really makes a mistake. Hi, Justin. Malillo.
You sound puzzled.
Did I really?
I don't know. It just sounded like you sounded puzzled about there being no caution at the end of stage 2.
I wasn't surprised at that. And there goes Kolonix off in the 46 disguise, 22 machine, whatever. The only thing I wasn't sure about is somebody asked whether or not the pit still closed, and there was no response. That's what I was more puzzled about.
No, we're going to keep the pits open. We only did the caution that way for that stage so that we could do it faster, but I ended up screwing that up anyway. So, yeah. The pits will stay open for the rest of the time. If there is an actual caution, I will throw the actual caution.
Gotcha. Well, there you have it. Landon Mills, who was second, he comes on to pit row. Brandon Hawkin lights up the tires, getting into the first horseshoe. So there you have Justin Malillo coming in, saving the day. Appreciate it, as always.
The what horseshoe there?
The first horseshoe.
There you go.
What did I say the first time?
The forced horseshoe.
Oh. That's possible. Well, I keep calling it hairpin, so I was trying to make sure I said horseshoe, and I guess that translated to the word first. Nonetheless, Hawkin has a 9-second lead. Some of these other guys must have pitted, and I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Jonathan Oates right now is sitting second, and I believe he was looking outside the top 10 before this cycle started. So,
how about this? Blake Reynolds just pitted. Mercurio pitted a lap ago. Liam Sheen pitted 2 laps ago. That's why I'm like, how in the world did Jonathan Oates get to second? Trouble McCandless. He is stopped wherever he's at. Fox Sports coverage. I'll do it myself. I thought I was just going to be able to look at the prog feed and find him. I think he went home. The 105. He missed turn 1, went through the gap in the wall, and went home. Maybe his brother's back after his night. Okay. I understand the point of Amber Alert systems for phones and for TV.
Oh, he's going crazy over here.
But, okay, the kid was found 2 hours ago. Why am I getting a 6th notification that it's still going on? The kid was found. No, it's the same information.
They're targeting.
It's the same thing that interrupted the cup race and prevented me from seeing the little final restart.
My goodness.
I don't get it. Brandon Hawkin continues to lead. The wheels have fallen off the wagon here at FTF GG. Matt Danson is not pitting. At first I thought he was, but no, that's just how much they have to slow down for the corner getting into turn number 1. As we are 2 laps away, this time to the end of stage 2.
And Brandon Hawkin here has a commanding 11-second lead. I mean, he's looking out going out of NASCAR 2 right now. In second place, Jonathan Oates just entered. And we see Landon Mills off track. That's big.
Oh, no.
He's already pitted.
Just pitted.
And he was having a strong run tonight. Now he's off track, loses a ton of time. And that might be all she wrote for Landon Mills. Yeah, we have 28 laps to go. But, I mean, that amount of time he just gave up, that's huge.
Andy Margot going to come in this time.
Yeah, looking through right now. Oh, Wyatt Tinsley off track. Coming out of the bus stop. He recollects it. And now he's going to get back going. Dylan Basin to the outside of him now. Looking through. Looks like everybody else is going to get through there somewhat cleanly. You can see side by side. That's Gary and Tinsley. Single file now, and I mean they're looking right now at this pack that's Logan Helton all the way back to Wyatt Tinsley, so 5th through 9th. And you kind of see their demeanor. As we cut back, that's Michael P. Frisch, Matthew Zwack, David Brown, and a 10th through 12th. These guys are having a different mentality. I was going to talk about how this first pack wasn't, really willing to do too much, but you see Zwack there goes off track just a little bit, not hitting his marks correctly.
Art Reimer goes wide, turn 1. Still good. So here comes Hawkin down the back straightaway. A little less than half a lap away from winning stage number 2. Trying to pick up his first win on the season is Hawkin.
Yeah, that's really just hard to believe with the amount of speed that Brandon Hawkins had this year. I mean, again, going back to the All-Star race, I mean, that first 100-lap stint that we had, as he's actually going to be coming down pit road here.
Yeah. So he will pit at the stage, and Jonathan Oates is coming off turn 4. Is Hawkin going to get to the line? Yes. Oates is going to pit this time as well. So is, how in the world? Blake Bryant's in 3rd. He's pitting. Danson is in. Logan Helton is in. Nate Stewart stays out. He's going to go an extra lap.
And Zach said it right there, but channeling the All-Star race, Jeff Burton move. Now Brandon Hawkins going to come off. Stage is over. Whoa, David Brown just sent it big time, and he, oh my goodness, is going to miss the entire chicane section.
There's no way that he didn't.
He might get disqualified for going backwards here.
Did he just do that on purpose? Miss the corner?
I have no clue.
Oh my God.
Did he just say he forgot we were on the road course? Looking back at this replay, it looks like it. I mean, my goodness, I was checking.
Can we get a replay of that?
Yeah, Brandon Hawkin. Yeah, Brandon Hawkin was coming off the pit lane and just kind of nonchalantly watching him, and all of a sudden you see the 83 car right here on the inside of Michael P. Frisch.
And now you see him, now you don't. See ya.
And who was that in the Daytona 500, maybe a decade or so back that kind of did that same move, just flew down the pit lane, just really reminiscent of that. Really surprised he didn't get disqualified for going backwards on that section for as long as he did.
Yeah.
My goodness, a very costly mistake from David Brown there. Nate Stewart now has the lead. Kevin King and Brian Mercurio a little more tightly strung together for 2nd and 3rd.
Yep.
Brandon Hawkins really on the
pitting.
back.
Kevin King and Mercurio have already made their stop. So Kevin King takes the lead. Hawkins 2 seconds behind and just came off pit road.
Yeah, and as you see, if you start to notice here, the sun is starting to set here at Daytona as we're kind of actually getting into the later stages You see the skies turning an orangish color.
Battle
Really
for
interested to
second.
see how that changes the way this track is. I mean, you know, when you think of the hot Daytona sun, you're thinking of a really hot and slick track. Are we going to get more grip as this track falls into night? You saw there, Brandon Hawkin made a great move on the inside of Brian Mercurio there.
Got to wonder about visibility as well.
It's very true. Sun in your face.
Already 8 o'clock in sim. There are no lights on these cars, and there are no lights in the infield. And we've got 25 laps to go. Sunset would be about 8:30. So they're not going to beat the clock. As far as that's concerned.
Yeah,
Part of this is going to be in the dark.
Yeah, not factoring in any cautions or anything like that either.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna. Oh,
Here's a battle. At Wyatt Tinsley? No.
no, that's
The
Dylan
153.
Basin. Ethan Quarter.
Basin and Quarter. Yep.
There we go. And while we've
How
been
about
watching
for the
this,
lead?
yeah, I was about to say
Brandon
Brandon Hawkin. Whoa, Kevin King, big time on the brakes there.
And just like that, new leader. That wasn't much of a battle, was it?
He just kind of took it. Now Brian Mercurio, actually. Kevin King with a really early entry there into his braking zone.
Now,
But
keep in mind, they're going to have
yeah.
to pit one more time. Because remember, the stages were 15 and 15. This is 26 that we're going here. So they're going to have to pit at least one more time to make it on fuel. Especially those that just pitted here at the end of the stage. You're going to have to pit once. Those that pitted earlier, like Reynolds and Mercurio, or Sheen, a lot of these guys who pitted before the stage, I'm a little wishy-washy on them on whether or not they can just make it on one more stop. They're going to have to run it dry.
Yeah, I mean, looking back here, I want to take the conversation back to our visibility. To some of those people at home who are once again thinking, a few years ago, we had the Clash that was ran at night here, and you got to keep in mind for that there was temporary lighting that was brought into the infield that iRacing does not replicate, and we do not have. And even in the 24 hours, those are reliant on the cars having headlights, which once again, obviously, these next-gen cars do not have. So these guys are gonna have to put together a clean race if they're wanting to see in the infield horseshoe there, because it's gonna be dark here very soon.
Yeah. So we ride on board our race leader.
It's good to just listen to him. You can hear with how, as soon as I say how consistent his marks are, you see he messes up the entry to the first horseshoe there, which has been uncharacteristic of his day so far. It feels like he's ran an almost perfect race with maybe only one or two mishaps. That's Matt Spalding, I believe. Yeah.
One spicy meet the ball for the driver of the 88.
That's a good box.
Curious what happened here.
Well, he's been missing
maybe get a
the front end of
replay.
the car for a little while. It looks like
It looks more damaged than it was earlier.
Yeah,
though.
he might have had some collision with the wall, something of the sort. Try to get a replay pulled up for you. Looking back at it right now, Brandon Hawkin has really opened up on Kevin King right now. They were...
Here it is.
Oh. Lied, actually. We'll try to find it.
Well, there goes Cabrera off.
This is your Barr
now we're back
FTF
live.
recap. There you go.
Yeah. Good Lord.
We're back. You're good.
Struggle bus for one Zach Johnson.
Hey, I mean, we were talking about Justin Malillo one-man band, and I mean, Zach's been doing it. As we have a battle for P2 here, you see a little bit of draft break in there from Kevin King. Brian Mercurio actually loses the underneath of the car just a little bit. That's going to challenge his battle.
He's about a half a second faster a lap. And King has been way off the pace compared to Hawkin, more than a second a lap.
Yeah, and I mean, Kevin King has not pitted in a while. It looks like running about lap 10 on this stint. Brian Mercurio has a little bit fresher tires, but
Tinsley's in.
Yeah, not to that impact so far. Brandon Hawkin again, I mean, he's just been in the best spot all night. Is you got Kevin King and Brian Mercurio battling, and that's really just going to allow him to reopen up this lead. I mean, it's been quite a lot. Brian Mercurio really wants to get around this Kevin King machine, just with how off the pace he's been, kind of holding him up, impeding his progress as he's trying to make it through the field. You see Brandon Hawkins still opening up that gap. It's almost 4 seconds now to this point. See everybody cutting it through the bus stop here.
So we'll step aside and we'll go to a break. Brandon Hawkins, your leader. 21 laps to go from Daytona. We're racing for Joey Mendoza. We're back after this here on FTF.GG. Back here from Daytona, 20 laps to go. Brian Mercurio continues his romp over the field. So we're running out of daylight. It's 8:10 in sim. Sunset is just after 8:30. There are no lights in the infield. The lights have come on the outside of the racetrack, where the Cup cars normally run. But as I mentioned, no lights in the infield. So how are you going to see? Well, good luck.
Yeah, really brave move to have these guys running under almost complete darkness here. It's going to be very close with about 20 laps to go, and at the rate we're at, we will be coming up on darkness here. So that's going to be interesting for guys like Brandon Hawkin, Brian Mercurio, all these guys that are up front. How do you navigate this racetrack without being able to see, you know, maybe using other cars, try to figure out where you are. See Logan Helton side by side with Jonathan Oates right there.
So remember, the headlights and taillights on these cars are stickers. They do not work. They are not real.
Does this mean that Lightning McQueen lied when he said the track was always lit? Come on, that was good.
Yeah, I think that's what that means. There's Mercurio on pit road. We are in the window. No, we're not. What is he doing on pit road? Liam Sheen's on as well. They cannot make it from here to the end. Unless they've just been short pitting this whole time with the staging. But in that case, why would you pit at the end of the stage if you knew there was going to be a caution? So I have a feeling that these guys can only make it 15 laps.
Yeah, and I mean, we are using the reduced fuel boxes, the reduced capacity tonight. I think the real show right now is going to be, you know, when does Brandon Hawkin come in? Because I feel like that'll kind of dictate what everybody else is doing. I mean, we see kind of everybody from second through about fifth come on in, and now Landon Mills and Blake Reynolds, kind of those guys have cycled back up. But I mean, all eyes are still right now just on Brandon Hawkin. He's put on a clinic here tonight.
Remember how the Warriors were up by 10 over the Celtics? Yeah, they're now up by 30.
I was about to say Celtics going to sweep. Doesn't sound like it, though.
No. Oh, a pass! That's Mercurio, who just came off pit road. Lyson B. And then Dylan Basin. That's all for position 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Ooh, Justin Lysenby, you see, ducked out of that battle. Didn't want to be on the inside with the potential for something bad to happen there. So he's going to opt to duck out of that battle. He's now going to be behind the 04 machine of Dylan Basin. Brian Mercurio. Oh, is that Blake Reynolds down pit road?
Yep.
Interesting here.
He's got a black flag. Did he speed it? I think he sped.
And that is huge. I mean, and especially in a race
that has absolutely
had no cautions.
76 mile an hour when he hit the line.
Can't be doing that. Oh, almost had a crash there. Brian Mercurio, Kevin King made significant contact and overshot the corner there. Kevin King now going to duck into the inside. Might be seeing something. It looks like Kevin King going to go around.
Oh, and Lyson B misses him barely.
Yeah, and the precursor, the writing was on the wall on that one, as they were out of control for a bit before that happened. But Kevin King, tough break for him. And now Brian Mercurio going to have 11th place, or that's 9th place, excuse me, uncontested. Tough break for Kevin King, who's all the way back in 14th as we'll cut back. That's Jonathan Oates in P5. Ooh, Chris Wentz.
Here's Wentz. He's off.
Spencer Ray looks like he's lost the front of the car. I don't recall the car looking quite like that last time we saw him.
Yeah.
Looking back through, I mean, there are a bunch of cars in this race that have sizable damage. I'm not talking about just little, like, bumps like some of the leaders have. But, I mean, missing hoods, missing bumpers, missing rear end clips. I mean, it's been chaos out here so far tonight.
That's Mills that's off. That's second place.
And I mean, Matt Danson's still about 3 seconds back, 2 seconds back now from that. And I mean, Brandon Hawkins opened up a 15-second gap, which is increasing by the lap. So he's just in a really great spot right now. As we'll look at Michael P. Frisch right there. Oh, we got a car around. Is that an Iraqi?
Stop. That's, well, 48. That's Margot. He big broke.
Is he meatballed? Probably.
Yeah.
And that was actually, Brandon Hawkin was actually inching up on Margot.
Yeah, he
there.
wrecked it on exit. Margot. What the hell? He exits just fine. And then he loses it. Middle of the straightaway.
It's those classic Goodyear tires.
Like, okay, he goes from the apron to the racetrack, and it's like that transition messed his car
sitting
up.
in the middle of the track. My goodness,
I
Andy.
can't believe that wasn't a caution.
Yeah, he was there for a minute, too. I mean, just kind of sitting in the middle of the racetrack. You feel like if we were going to have a caution, that would have been it.
Landon Mills on pit road. Back live.
And you got to think right now, 16 laps to go. That Art Reimer just went off track in front of our leader, Brandon Hawkin. As I was saying there, Brandon Hawkin, right now, he's approaching this window really quickly. You know, do you think that he comes in on lap 15 just to get that pit stop over with the sizable margin that he's built up of 20 seconds on the rest of the field? Or do you think he waits that out just a little? I mean, you know, if you're that 099 camp, you know, you haven't won all year. You got to push the cards all in here. You're trying to just get a win, lock yourself in to the FTF playoffs so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you've had speed all year, but even still haven't been able to, you know, close that door all the way, just trying to do whatever it takes to get a win here. And you have the car, you've had the speed. You know, just how do you put it together here? 15 laps to go. The Daytona road course for Brandon Hawkin.
Hawkin can probably hit pit here because he can make it to the end on fuel from here. Well, he won't pit here, but he can make it from here on out. So the window should be open at this point. For everybody that hasn't pitted yet, now's the time to do so.
And I mean, if you're Brandon Hawkin, that's Colonix.
Colonix.
He'll get back going, but yeah, Brandon Hawkin right now, with the lead margin that you've built up, you know, the only thing that you really can't do here is run out of fuel, because if you run out of fuel, you know, you're going to be screwed. But you know, with 20 seconds, I mean, if you spin, if you have a rough stop, you know, maybe a penalty would probably end your chances here, but I mean, outside of, you know, anything crazy like that happening here, you know, Brandon Hawkin really, it just kind of almost feels like he can do no wrong, and he'll have, you know, still somewhat of a lead built up by the time he gets out of the pit road.
Here's Quarter on pit road.
Looking at Nathan Rabideau, kind of looking through around the field. Logan Helton, he's been interlocked with Jonathan Oates for what feels like 20 laps now. Those two guys have been around each other all night. You see Logan Helton here trying to get in underneath as they go up into NASCAR 1. Loud pedal all the way engaged. And they're going to fall back into single file formation.
Same lap, old tires. So no tire advantage for them. Hawkins stays down another lap, 14 to go.
One of the greatest things about night road course racing is you can really see those brakes, just how they're being used tonight. You can see those brake rotors glowing once they get on to the brakes. We saw it more so in the infield section there. It's such a sight to behold out of these race cars. Ooh, Andy Margot off track again.
Bryant. Blake Bryant to fourth.
Hell of a night for him.
Wyatt Tinsley parks the car, done for the night. And Logan Helton right back by Brian.
Yeah, Wyatt Tinsley.
On board Nate Stewart.
Speed, excuse me. Hey, Nate Stewart can. Nate Stewart, again, is one of those guys that has quietly put together a great season so far. I mean, so far doesn't have a win to his name, but, you know, looking at the point standings, he's just been consistent week in, week out, sitting tied for third with Blake Reynolds in the 15 races that he's attempted so far this season. So it's been a great season for him so far, and he's keeping it up with a strong 6th place run tonight.
2 top 5, 7 top 10s on the season for Stewart in his 15 starts. Last night, came home P8 at Gateway.
Ooh, Justin Lysenby just went off track. Blake Reynolds going to get around him now. And this is a little deeper into the field, but see Chris Wetz to his outside. Doesn't even stand a chance with the amount of damage that number 71 car has accrued tonight. So we see Brandon Hawkin coming down the pit road.
Yeah.
Ooh, Dylan Basin just junked the car in the second horseshoe. Maybe not junked, but he pushed that thing into the barrier. Now has a fair amount of damage. Sounds like
Matt Jansen in. David Brown damaged. I think he hit the tires there.
Yeah, just a multitude of incidents happening around the racetrack now. We are getting around that time where you got to pit once again.
Nate
Gonna be interesting
Stewart
to see.
stays out. How about side by side for the lead coming off pit road between Hawkin, who finally gets to go now. So Nate Stewart is going to take the lead. And he's blinking like a Christmas tree. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we were asking about Brian Mercurio earlier with you know, that early pit stop, but now he's right in the thick of this thing. 2 seconds off. Looks like Gary might have spun on pit road. He's going to come off here.
I think he was just lighting the tires up, getting out of this box.
Well, that would explain it. Looking back for the lead, though. Brandon Hawk and Nate Stewart, they're about to duke it out. Nate Stewart here is 12 laps into this stint, so I mean his tires just don't even stand a chance next to Brandon Hawkins. Let's see if he sends it in here at all.
So Hawkins back out in front. We're coming to 12 to go. Trouble, Logan Helton, last night's winner. He's good. There goes Gary.
Nate Stewart just came in.
Yeah, and he was pretty much the only guy up there that had yet to pit. Now Mercurio and Sheen round out in second and third. Now they pitted 7 laps ago. I'm not sure they can make it.
Yeah, you got to try a gamble like this. I mean, when Brandon Hawkin, again, he had a 25-second lead that you've now cut down to, you know, just over a second and a half, excuse me. Just Brian Mercurio, just watching him fade off into the sunset right now is Brandon Hawkin on his fresh tires, just putting together a great run here tonight. And again, I mean, Brandon Hawkin, again, is just, he's just been on fire these last few weeks. I mean, again, doesn't have a race win to show for it, but I mean, going back to the All-Star race at the LA Coliseum last week, there was a point at the halfway point of that race where he had lapped the entire field up to second place. And, you know, again, a run really reminiscent of tonight, where he was just far and away the best car on track all night long. And once again, you come to Daytona with that momentum kind of built up in your pocket, even though you didn't have the result to come away to show for it. You know, that stuff builds up over time. And here you are tonight, just running as perfect of a race as can be. 12 laps to go. I mean, Brandon Hawkins just, how can he not be your pick right now?
Gary Waterworth just crashed and almost, what the heck?
He was watching the Warriors.
Well, he just almost jumped Nate Stewart. Coming out of the second horseshoe. Let's get a replay if we can. Okay, so before this, now that I don't know what he's doing now. So he missed the second horseshoe, dove headfirst into the tire. Okay, that's not him. Here he is. All right, so notice he has the hood. That'll change. Locks it up, dives headfirst into the tires right there. Hoyamo. All right, cool. Then backs up, gets it rolling. Here comes Nate Stewart. All right, side by side. And then, I don't know what he does, but he almost wrecks him. And then he comes around and cuts the chicane on the backstretch. And he's still rolling on the racetrack right now. Gary Waterworth, I mean, his team's leading. I don't understand why he's wrecking.
You know, you got to really bask in the moments of, you know, NBA Finals. Your Warriors are doing well. Just really,
it's game 2. Like, it's game 2 of a
I don't know. I'm just
possible 7.
I'm trying to give him something here, man.
Oh, Michael Rosero and Dylan Basin have each given up and parked the cars. They're done for tonight. Brandon Hawkin is coming around, and he takes 10 laps to go.
And again, you see he's opened up his gap. And Brian Mercurio, Liam Sheen, they tried a very interesting pit strategy, we'll say the least, but not looking like it's going to pay out, as both of them are now down the pit lane, and they're going to take what is their final stop of the night. Liam Sheen actually overshoots his box a fair amount. And what little hopes they had, that 41 camp and the 092 camp, they look like their conquest is going to be over here tonight.
Like I said, it didn't make sense that they were going to be able to make it. Kevin King is broke. Meatball flag for the 29 and Kevin King. He probably junked it at the chicane. Yes, sir, indeed, he did.
Yeah, and he's coming in now.
That's a little after it, but he just missed it, and instead of going around the tires, he hit the tire. Right there. Oops. So here we are back live. What's coming up on FTF.GG? Well, the Barr FTF Cup Series is actually on vacation the next 2 weeks, so none of us, but there's still plenty more on deck. Winsdale is running these next 2 Sundays, 7:30. They're at Infineon this next weekend, and Daytona in 2 weeks on Father's Day evening. Then FTF comes back in a couple of weekends on June 25th. We're at Nashville. And Road to Pro Round 2. The NASCAR Qualifying iRacing Series Round 2, the top 70 drivers. That restarts on July 7th from Mid-Ohio. Yeah, Mid-Ohio. And we'll be covering Round 2 in partnership with Podium Esports, but our coverage will be right here on FTF.GG. That is not changing. So we'll be back and ready to roll by the time June 7th comes around for a really wacky and mind-boggling schedule that I don't think anybody would give to their worst enemy. But we're going.
Yeah, we got to. Oh, actually, hold on. Ethan Corder just went way off track.
And Dvorak, both of them. Corder missed the corner, and he pushed Jordan Dvorak out there with him.
No caution for that.
He was the target, and he moved the target.
That was incredible. Wow. No caution for that, though, and You know,
It's off
starting to-
track.
Yeah, coming up on daylight here, maybe not trying to throw the caution, but we'll get you our replay right here, and you'll see it. Ethan Quarter.
Justin Lisenby's on pit road. Here's the replay. And I mean, he didn't kill any cones, but
There's a
took out
corner there,
himself.
buddy.
Yeah. He had him locked up.
And
They
they're
are?
settled back down, albeit a little more off the pace than they were about a lap ago.
Quarter just made a pit stop as well. Really weird. Kevin King parked the car, done for the night. Oh, there goes Liam Sheen passing Blake Bryant. That's fourth position.
And just Brandon Hawkin right now, man, has played his cards again almost perfectly. Almost a 25-second lead, and then a 35-second lead almost on Brian Mercurio, who is in P3 right now. Coming around, still looks like everybody.
Trouble.
Oh,
Turn one, that's Mercurio. I mean, drifted it through turn one. He got on the brakes, and that thing
Wow.
stepped out on him. Bigly.
beautiful form from this 41 machine on the entrance of turn
What a
one. there.
save.
Yeah, you'll see it right here. This is reminiscent of just like,
I mean,
yeah, I mean, I don't know how you save that car when it steps out to that effect right there. I mean, that's up there with some of the best saves I've ever seen.
Liam Sheen is off. No, he's not. Yes, he is. I was on replay. He just overdrove the second horseshoe
Yeah, he was
and
just
hard
pleased
into the
with radio about it.
tires. Yeah.
Is that Landon Mills getting passed back by Blake Bryant right there?
Yep.
Interesting to see him subsiding just a little bit. A quarter again.
Quarter.
Rough night for him.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's keeping track at home, that's Justin Lisenby in P20. And if you notice, that is the leader coming up right behind him.
Oh, he's
Oh,
off.
Justin Lisenby
He's
is
on the
off
wall
track.
Hard.
I thought I was seeing things for a minute. No, he slammed into the outside wall.
Yeah. I don't know if that was just to get out of the way or what. It worked. But he is back in the 20th position. And he
Even
is
Meatball?
big broke.
Yeah, Meatball acquired on
Yeah.
that 76 machine, and that's not really that surprising. He took a huge hit into the outside wall.
Trouble. Helton.
And he's had a rough night
Last
after
night's
one.
winner. And he's still in 10th. And that's fresh right behind. That's who he's battling for position.
That's some of the good parts of being on this road course with the amount of size that it has. You see he's going to the inside of lapped Andy Margot there. But you can make mistakes like that, and it's not going to cost you 25 or 30 positions like it would on a normal oval schedule.
Tell you what, there's a little bit of lighting.
Yeah, it's not as
On
dark
this
as I
in-
thought it would be.
Yeah, there's a little bit of lighting on this infield section. It's not a ton, but it's just enough that I think these guys are okay. as Lisenby's around again, into the tires again. Second horseshoe, and he just parked it. I think he just unplugged his computer from the wall.
Yeah, I mean, he had a strong car tonight just after some of those mistakes that have come about tonight. Ooh, Rabideau around as well. It's
Rabideau. And Quarters in the wall again. I was watching the battle for third, and I heard somebody. I'm like, who is that? Oh, it's Quarter in the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like outside of this top, really the top three. I mean, we had Zwack off track as well. Just a lot of these guys have been just faced with so much adversity outside of, just these leaders who have been relatively calm. I mean, but even Dylan Alt, guys like that who were running up front for a majority of the race are not in as well as we got a big battle.
Here's a gaggle. Here. Yeah. So from back to front, Cosman, Ethan Quarter, Tyler Gary, Liam Sheen. Those two are for position, as well as Blake Bryant and Jonathan Oates. So the front four are for position. Quarter and Cosman are just there for fun.
Yeah, you made it this far. You only got 5 laps to go. I mean, no harm, no foul. Oh, Cosman! Almost went around off the exit of the bus stop, and now he's going to lose Ethan Quarter, who he was battling for position with for P25.
Yeah, 1 lap down. Landon Mills is off. Turn 1. He hit the grass so hard that thing jumped up into the air.
Yeah, was that Phoenix we had a flip like that? I was honestly kind of expecting something like that here tonight, but to my surprise, yeah, we've had a really clean race here. I mean, obviously
trouble. Quarter again.
Yeah, not like that. Not in that aspect. Just no cautions here tonight so far.
It's like he tried drifting, but he failed, and he killed all but one of the cones on that side of the track.
Yeah, and we'll see. He's
incredible.
Maybe, just kind of putting around. Maybe he was wanting to actually have a battle with Cosman, who is now by him.
I'm sure Justin's incident counter is off the charts tonight. Multiple pages.
Yeah, I mean, it's been trouble to keep up with the amount of accidents that we've been having here tonight, especially with no cautions for any of them either. I mean, yeah, his hand's got to be hurting.
Inside 4 to go. Brandon Hawkin trying to lap Kevin McAdams. Heading into the second horseshoe right now.
Down on the inside here, and Brandon Hawkin just going to follow McAdams in line here, getting up through the gears. And that's an acclimation that a lot of these guys have had to make here tonight too. Obviously, with the gearing changes, the transmission is completely different in this next gen race car. So working with 5 gears instead of the traditional 4, a lot of these guys really haven't acclimated to that as well.
And there goes Hawkin. That laps Kevin. And we're coming to 3 laps to go.
Ooh, Kevin actually giving some fight on the outside. He got a little bit of a run off the corner, but he's going to bow out of that.
How about the battle for 6? Jonathan Oates and Tyler Gary. Coming out into NASCAR 1. Gary bobbled. He was on the back bumper of that 73, but he made a mistake. And it cost him a couple of car lengths.
That's our...
Poor Andy Margot.
Yeah, just over the radio. I think that's our first visibility complaint of the night. He's actually almost going to go around there.
Well, now you got to keep in mind he is older, and he said his eyesight's bad enough. It doesn't help that they're in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, there are...
He's
some
right.
sections
That's
of
the
this
sad
racetrack.
thing. In the race car, I can't imagine. Like, you know, from our vantage point, we kind of make it look a little bit brighter, but I mean, down on the infield itself, it's dark compared to the rest of the racetrack. Once we get up onto the high banks, you can see side by side for sixth again between Gary and Oates. Gary going to get the spot for now, coming out of horseshoe number 1.
And this infield horseshoe, I mean, it's just been so many fun battles happening here tonight. You can really just send it in, play with the throttle.
And Reimer's off. Ethan Quarter finally parked it. Here's Helton and Frisch. This is 9th and 10th. Not gonna lie, forgot my green wasn't
Waterworth
following
just went off track again.
No. The game's over, Waterworth. Come on. Sixth again, side by side. 2 to go as they come to the stripe. Oates and Gary, best battle on the racetrack. Hell, it's the only battle on the racetrack. And cross him over. Gary got a little loose.
Oates going to try here to get back to the back bumper of Tyler Gary.
That last
Gary
time by, Gary was 4/10 quicker last lap.
Ooh, Kevin McAdams just went off track as well at the exit of the bus stop. He's going to get it collected.
He's all right. Yep. Here comes Hawkin for the white flag. 1 lap to go from Daytona. Brandon Hawkin looking for his first win on the season. It's just the second road course that we've been to on the season. Circuit of the Americas was first. Hawkin finished back in 7th. Michael P. Frisch, that was his lone win, was at COTA. They've been on the oval since then. Obviously, they'll have a couple of road course races coming up. They go to Road America at the start of July. Watkins Glen in the middle of August. As well as the Roval in the playoffs. They're not headed to Sonoma.
Yeah, Justin actually just pulled on track here just to have a little fun.
The pace car's out there having a good old time. All right, cool.
Yeah, just vibing, just having a good time.
Actually,
Brandon
I was
Hawkin
not
right here,
looking at the right stats. Let me go to Circuit of the Americas.
There
Blake
you
Reynolds won at COTA.
True statement?
I don't believe... No, it doesn't. Brandon Hawkin did race. He finished in 38th. Bad night for him. But redemption for the 099 today. Brandon Hawkin out of NASCAR Turn 4. He's finally going to win. He wins at Daytona in the Racing to Remember Joey Mendoza 200.
Yeah, and just great for Brandon Hawkin to finally, as you see, he's just going to burn it down in celebration. I mean,
There's
just to
Poulin.
finally punch his ticket. I mean, he's had so much speed in and out this year. And
How about the battle for 6th? It's not done yet. Jonathan Oates, Tyler Gary through the bus stop for the final time. Oh, Gary bobbed a little bit. There's a car sideways. That's Andy Margot backing up across the track in front of these guys. Here comes Oates. He's going to have a run. He looks high. He looks low. Down below the yellow line. That's legal. Side drafting to the flag. Jonathan Oates is going to get the spot. He finishes in 6th.
you see these various battles wrapping up here. Whoa. Yeah, Landon Mills.
Is out of fuel.
Oh, Kalanick's got him.
That was for 12. I think Hawkins out of fuel.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it back around.
And there's the pace car burning down the house.
Yeah, notorious FTF pace car burnouts.
And Logan Helton, last night's winner, is coming to push tonight's winner around the racetrack. How cool is that? Here are your results. Brandon Hawkin finally breaks through and is an FTF Cup winner. Matt Danson, I can't read. Matt Danson. How about that? Second place for Danson. As far as Danson's season is concerned, it's his first top 5 on the season, third top 10. Brian Mercurio finishes in 3rd. Nate Stewart, great finish for him in 4th. Liam Sheen rounds out the top 5. Then it's Jonathan Oates, Tyler Gary, Blake Bryant, last night's winner, Logan Helton, and championship leader Michael P. Frisch, rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, we'll look back on 11th on here. Blake Reynolds, who had a very strong car, very strong run, will kind of run off the rails tonight. Alex Kalanick, we saw make that pass. Matthew Zwack in P13. Landon Mills started 14th, going to end up 14th after a strong run. Unfortunately, running out of fuel. Brett Pancari, Nathan Rabideau, who had a few incidents. Jake Poulin, Kevin McAdams, Chris Wetz, David Brown. You'll all note that they're a lap down here. Shows you Brandon Hawkins' conquest as we get on to E21 on. Jacob?
Justin Dvorak, we saw him have a couple of issues. He finished 21st. Spencer Ray, didn't talk much about that 22, or that 6. He finishes in 22nd. David Cabrera in 23rd. Cosmin Ionescu in 24th. Art Reimer 25th. Gary Waterworth, his Warriors won, but he did not. He finishes 26th. Ethan Corder, rough night at the office for him in 27th. Andy Margot in 28th. Justin Lisenby in 29th. Kevin King crashed out of the race in 30th.
Yeah, looking through the rest here, Dylan Basin had a few incidents. Michael Rosero was off track quite a few times, and that's kind of the theme with some of these guys who are DNFs. Wyatt Tinsley, Matt Spalding, Ryan Naraki in 35th, Philip McCandless in 36th, Seth Knoll, Dylan Alt, who again was our pole sitter, ran very strong early on, Mitch Hobbs in 39th, and our pace car in 40th.
There you have it. Thanks to Blake Reynolds for the raid, and yeah. Kind of just waiting around to talk to somebody, anybody from our top 3. We have Liam Sheen. So, Caleb, let's talk with Liam Sheen.
Yeah, Liam, we saw you tonight on a differing fuel strategy from everybody else, kind of stepping out with Brian Mercurio. What was the thoughts behind that, trying to get that working?
Yeah, I was planning on coming in on that yellow, and someone yelled on the radio that pit road was closed, so I backed out last second, which it ended up being open. So yeah, I mean, at that point you can't really give up that much track position. You got to kind of just stay up there, keep what you can, and hope you get a yellow later on. I mean, I was surprised we didn't get any instant yellows tonight, so I mean, that's a good thing, but also bad for my strategy. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much the thought process on that. I just had to kind of cut my losses at a certain point, split that last run in half, do 10 and 10, and hope I can get a good finish. And, 5th career best finish. I run limited races here, so yeah, it's not too bad, but also could have been more.
Absolutely. And I mean, looking onward, tonight, obviously our last race for a couple of weeks, looking ahead to Nashville. I mean, Nashville, obviously a completely different racetrack, but, after a 5th place run tonight, do you think that kind of carries over in terms of momentum? Hopefully, getting something together.
I'm not too sure if I'm going to run Nashville. I'm a part-time guy. I usually just show up to the road courses, super speedway, stuff like that, just have some fun, focus mainly on Road to Pro, but who knows, maybe I'll show up there, but mainly builds more momentum for next road course. I know where I am in the league. Cut about 20, 30 seconds out of that gap. I'm about 19 seconds behind Brandon, so gotta work on that. So yeah, I mean, it just builds momentum, shows me where I am as far as comparing to Brandon and Matt Danson, those people. Just gotta know where I am so I can improve, get better, try to give them a run for their money next time.
Absolutely. Well, good. Congratulations on 5th place tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at whatever road course we see you at next.
Thanks.
There's Liam Sheen, our 5th place finisher tonight. Let's talk with our race winner, Brandon Hawkin. Finally, he gets to go to victory lane. A perfect night, all things considered. Didn't lead every lap, but you got darn close to it. Is there anybody that could have had a shot at beating you here tonight?
Oh, sorry, may I push the talk. Man, that was wow. During the middle of that, I was thinking, oh man, this is almost the one that got away here. Man, got a bit of damage there when there was some contact up front, and wow. It things just worked out perfectly there with the way the yellow worked at the end of the first. I think I forget which stage it was, but the admin said the pits were open, so I came in along with a couple other people, and but in game the pits were closed, so I think there was a bit of confusion there. So that allowed me to have more gas than everybody else and just barely make it there at the end. And yeah, so I had a bit of damage. It wasn't helping me there for a bit, but. Yeah, overall, just the way the pits worked out, it didn't have to worry about it too much. So yeah, man, just great racing from everybody tonight, and man, that was a lot of fun. And oh yeah, by the way, yeah, just my condolences to the Mendoza family, everybody who knew Joey. Man, that must be a really tough loss. So yeah, my thoughts are with them. And but yeah, man, it's great to get the docket rocket into victory lane for the first time, and for the first time this season. We've been close a couple times, but man, finally glad to seal the deal. That was man, I was just hoping there was no cautions, everything went smoothly, and thankfully everything did.
With the win, should be locked into the postseason, which is always nice. Of course, the second one wouldn't hurt either. We go in a couple of weeks' time, get a couple of weeks off. We go to Nashville. What do you think? Do you think you have a shot there?
Yeah, Nashville's another new track to me, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do some laps there. Yeah, just did Gateway for the first time there last night too. So yeah, I got a lot of new tracks coming up, I think, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Nashville, it's not the fairgrounds, but the super speedway, right? Believe.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that'll be a really interesting race, and yeah, it should be a great show as always. And yeah, just like to thank everybody at Nexus, FTF for putting this thing on, you guys in the broadcast booth, and yeah, hopefully see you guys some more this season. And yeah, shout out to Docket, first Docket win at FTF, so that's really cool. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you guys soon.
Congratulations on the win tonight, Brandon. We'll see you in a couple of weeks from
Thanks,
Nashville.
Guys.
Brandon Hawkin, your winner tonight from Daytona. Let's talk with P2, Matt Danson. How about it? Matt Danson coming home in P2, the man from down under with Caleb.
Yeah, Matt, we saw you tonight. At the very beginning, it kind of felt like obviously Brandon Hawkin and Dylan Alt were kind of the class of the field, but you put together a really clean, consistent race. What was that like from your perspective tonight?
You're saying I was bad, Caleb. I actually feel like I had a lot of speed, but I just choked like every lap in quali. Twice I was tracking I wouldn't have been pole, but like a high 8, which at least would have been like second or third. Just stepped on my PP on that one. But then, just had to work back from that. And, I was just looking then, on that restart, I restarted 28th, and it was just, I just had to pick my spots, be patient with it, and, hope that the strategy as well, like, panned out in my favor. And yeah, it did.
Yeah, again, just a slow, methodical march up for you, and you're not on the completely full-time schedule, but a great P2 run for tonight, heading into Nashville in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I would like to be full-time, but I sleep in. I sleep in sometimes, so that's been my mistake, or I've been bad and not qualified. But yeah, little by little, if we can have some more good runs, we'll make our way a bit forward in the points. And I just got to hope for a sneaky win somewhere, and then we're back in it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, P2 tonight. A really strong performance here at Daytona Road Course for Matt Danson.
Danson comes home in second. Now, finally, Brian Mercurio rounding out the podium, coming home in P3. Brian, you were drifting that thing around the racetrack as time continued on. Is there anything you could have had for that 099 tonight?
Nah. When you have the best car, the best driver, the best strategy, you'll get a pretty dominant win like that. So you just happen to pick the better strategy. I don't think a lot of us anticipated either fuel strat coming in, or we just wanted to keep our track position. Because it was going to be real tough to try to climb through the field there after he pit. But Hawkin played it right. He played his cards right, and he was probably the like I said, best car, best driver on the best strategy, and the margin of victory shows.
Well, nonetheless, we move on to a completely different racetrack in a couple of weeks. We go to Nashville Super Speedway. Obviously, very different from Daytona, but how do you think you'll square up?
I've only raced, I don't know, maybe 2-3 races there since that track's come out. So, ran last year in the eNASCAR Contender Series. I had a good car there. So, some positive memories at that track. Hopefully it will be good. I haven't driven it with the next gen. I know, the Coke Series ran there for their All-Star race last season, but this car is quite different. And so I would not expect it to be the same. At that time, we didn't even know the numbers were going to get all moved around. So it was quite a while ago. So I expect it to be a little different here with the current iteration in the next gen. Should be fun, though. Kind of like that track.
Well, congratulations on the top 3 tonight from the Daytona Road Course. Enjoy the couple of weeks off, and we'll see you from Nashville.
All right. Real quick, just want to thank you guys doing all the broadcasting, everybody who does admin, race control, puts the broadcasts on. Always love to see that. Dalen Barr Visuals for being such a big supporter of not only myself, but the FTF Barr Visuals Cup Series. Latart Esports, and all the partners I've gotten to work with throughout the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series seasons thus far. It's been pretty cool. And everybody I race with. I know I had a little run in there with Kevin King. Me and him were racing real good, and I put my left front in the grass right there through turn 1, and locked up and got into him. So I know we were racing pretty hard, pretty clean for most of the race. So I doubt he's watching, but just want to apologize to him for that. I just made a mistake. I was trying to go for a move, and I just wasn't next to him, and just pushed it a little too far. So my bad. Hate getting in incidents, especially with people I'm good friends with, and I always like to race clean around. So yeah, that's that. Maybe it could have gotten second too, but I threw away probably about 8 seconds there at the final run. So that was fun. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brian. Brian Mercurio finishing in third here tonight. Caleb, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely chaotic race from Daytona here tonight. Took us through, about anything you could have. I mean, we had that sunset visibility element, which you rarely see. You had quite a bit of strategy, and it was, all about attrition there as well, just trying to keep yourself out of accidents. But I mean, at the end of the day, how do you not talk about Brandon Hawkin just with the absolute clinic put on tonight? Just felt like he had the car to beat, and with Dylan Alt kind of taking himself out with a few incidents. I mean, it was Brandon Hawkins' race to lose. So congratulations to him for finally punching that ticket in. He's locked in, and we'll get to see if he's able to add on to that here at Nashville in 3 weeks' time.
Brandon Hawkin finally goes to victory lane. It's been a long time coming for him. He wins the Racing in Remembrance 200. Our thoughts are with the Mendoza family tonight. Joey Mendoza, 26 years old. We're thinking of Josh and his family. For Zach Johnson, our producer, Caleb Hoffman alongside me, I'm Jacob Hitz. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in a couple of weeks from Nashville. Till then, good night.